Hey, my loves. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kamoy. If you are new, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Okay, so, my channel is all about helping you along your spiritual growth and helping you to really get in tune with yourself, higher self. Okay, may you want to call that God source, Allah source, Buddha source, like whatever source you want to call it, it doesn't matter. It's really all one energy source, and there's just different names for the same source. So my goal here on this channel is to help you to recognize that there is a mighty, powerful source that flows in you and through you and with you. Okay, so this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 love languages and how you can apply this knowledge into your relationships, okay? A lot of times there's a lot of miscommunication within relationships because you're operating on one love language and your partner is operating in a different love language. So you can see them withdrawing love from your love tank and not filling it back up. And then you have problems, or you have miscommunication because you have different people operating with different love languages. So let's jump into what the 5 love languages are and how you can start maybe to get an understanding of what your love language is and what your partner's love language is, okay? The first love language that we're going to be talking about is word of affirmation. The second love language is going to be quality time. The third love language is going to be gifts. The fourth love language is going to be acts of service. And the fifth love language is going to be physical touch, okay? Now, how does this apply in your relationships, okay? Especially when it comes to your love relationships. When you have, let's say, 2 people that don't vibrate or don't communicate on the same love languages, it can cause a lot of tension, a lot of miscommunication, maybe even feeling like you're not being loved or supported, okay? And so we're going to introduce also the term love bank. And I don't have the book in front of me. I do, okay? So you can get the 5 love languages. There is a book, and Gary Chapman has several books out on the love languages. He has the original, the 5 love languages. He has God Speaks to You in Your Love Language. And I believe he also has one on marriages and the seasons within your love language. Okay, so you guys can Google him, and I will put his information in the description box below. Okay, so his name is Gary Chapman. Okay, and we will be really talking about his breakdown of these love languages in this video. So let's take, for example, my loves, that your love language is word of affirmation and your partner's love language is acts of service, okay? So what you need to understand is that we all internally have a love bank. Is, that's what Gary references it in his book. He calls it a love bank, okay? And I talk about this a lot, maybe not in the terms of a love bank, but I do talk about people wanting to make withdrawals energetically from you, but they're not making the deposits. It's like going into a bank and trying to make withdrawal when you have no money in the account. Okay, so your love language is words of affirmation, and your partner's love language is acts of service. But if you both don't know what your love languages are, right, you can see that your partner is going to operate and give you love from what their love language is, and you in turn will want to give love based on what your love language is. So how does this work? If your love language is words of affirmation, that means you like to be encouraged. That means with words, that means you may like your partner to leave you sticky notes, telling you how much you are loved and appreciated. You may find like you love when your partner reaches out to you via text messages during the day, right? You love to be encouraged and motivated and supported via words, okay? And if this is not being done, like say for example, you're in a relationship, and because your love language is word of affirmation, if your partner is always coming constantly with negative words on, no, you can't do that, no, it's not going to be the, no, it's not going, you're not pretty, or, maybe you need to lose some weight, all of those are words, right? And if they're not affirming your truth within, right, or if they're not affirming whatever insecurities you're trying to overcome, you are not going to feel like love is being poured into you, okay? So because that is your love language, words of affirmation, you can find that you're encouraging your partner in that way. Babe, you look good today. Oh, babe, I'm so proud and happy of everything that you've accomplished. Oh, babe, you got this, so, oh, babe, you look handsome. You're wearing that, okay? So you are going to constantly be building your partner up with affirmation. But if their love language is acts of service, right? Your affirmations is not going to mean shit. What they really want you to do is be there to support them. Okay. If they have a function, they want you to show up to support them at that function. Maybe it's you just simply doing something as putting toothpaste on their toothbrush in the morning time before they go, before they jump in the shower. Maybe it's you getting up in the morning time and making them a cup of coffee. That's acts of service. Maybe it's you just being able to make their life easier by doing things for them, okay? That is how they're receiving love. So your affirmations over here, you don't feel like you're getting love. Their love affirmation, their love language over here is acts of service. So they're going to give you love based on that. So you will find your partner constantly doing kind things for you, constantly wanting to do sweet things for you. So always doing things for you, acting, of service, okay? Maybe picking you up from work because they don't want you to wait at the bus stop, Maybe they know that your car's in the shop, so they give you their car to drive in the meantime. So that's acts of service, okay? So now, if they're operating with acts of service and your love language is affirmations, your love tank is not being filled. So although they're doing all these wonderful things for you, it's still not registering as love, because that is not how you receive love. That is not how your deposit of love comes into your love bank, okay? So fear not, okay? If you find yourself in a situation like that where you have identified your love language, okay, and your partner operates on a different vibration of love language, there are things that you can do, okay? You can definitely have a conversation with your partner about the love language, and I really think everyone should be having conversations with their partner, right? This is going to be key. You're no longer going to find yourself, those of you that are doing the work and want healthy relationships, you're not going to find yourself being able to attain or to experience the relationship that you truly desire to experience if you're not being honest first with self and then with your partner, okay? So you will have to have a conversation, and both parties will need to be open. However, you can start the change by, if you're the one with the information and you figured out that your partner likes acts of service, right? And that's how they love, you would have to start filling up their love tank or their love bank with that, okay? So once again, instead of giving words of encouragement, because that is not their love language, you might want to do kind gestures for them, okay? Hence filling up their love language, right? Now, let's move on to quality time, okay, versus maybe someone whose love language is gifts, okay? Now, I know, personally speaking, we all are affected by all 5 love languages, but there is definitely 1 or 2 predominant love languages that fills a love bank or a love tank, right? I can say surely mine is quality time. So if I'm with someone and you don't have time to spend with me, but you have time to do everything else under the sun, you are not filling up my love bank or love tank, and there is going to be an issue between us, right? So that is how I operate in my love language. I love quality time, right? So if you have someone that their love language is quality time and your love language is gifts, but you keep buying gifts and not spending time, you're thinking, the fact that I'm purchasing you all of these expensive things and I'm making your life a lot more comfortable by buying you all of these things, with someone whose love language is quality time, that is not going to make a difference, right? Now, it's interestingly enough, because if their love language is gifts, right, and you want quality time, but all you want to do is spend quality time and not really buying them gifts or not really getting them, not really honoring them with gifts, they're going to feel like they're unappreciated too, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with someone having a love language gifts, right? Because we're not even talking about necessarily you going out and buying a whole bunch of expensive things, right? Because gifts could be really at a higher spectrum. So a gift could be simply something that you saw in the dollar store a coffee cup that says you're the bomb, you're the best lover ever, this could be something as simple as recognizing that they ran out of maybe coffee, right? And you go out and buy them some really nice exotic coffee because they're into coffee, okay? So all of that is a gift, right? But in the meantime, they're buying you all of these little things that they feel you deserve and you should have, but the time is lagging. So they're feeding you their love language, and you're feeding them, your love language. Okay, so there's always going to be a quarrel between the two of you. I'm not getting enough time, and that used to be my big thing, because I believe that people make time for the things that are important to them. That's just one of my things, right? What's important to you, you make time for. And so if my love language is quality time and your love language is gifts, and you're depositing gifts into my love bank, it's still going to be a negative withdrawal because I still don't feel like I am getting, or therefore my love language is being recognized. So there still needs to be a communication between the both of us. Like, babe, I adore all of the gifts that you get me, and I really appreciate them. But what is making me secure and comfortable in this relationship would be quality time. And quality time could be something like us sitting and watching Netflix, us going to the supermarket and doing things. The mere fact that we're spending time together, that is what's going to fill my love bank. And for my partner, I would then need to operate in their love language by honoring them with gifts. And like I said, it doesn't have to do with anything astronomical. You can just see that they're missing something or they're running out of something, and you take it upon yourself to purchase that, right? And that is going to show them love. Oh my God, my babe cares about me. I only had like a half an ounce of perfume, and she saw that I was almost out, a body wash, and she saw that I was almost out and went out and bought me this great smelling body wash. Like little things like that. So we're not talking about spending thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars when it comes to the love language of gifts. Okay, now I want to also talk about the love language of physical touch. Okay, now let's use that with the example of maybe words of affirmation. Okay, so if you're operating from the love language of physical touch, and your partner is operating from the love language of words of affirmation, right? Physical touch is all about affection. So if you require affection and you need an affectionate relationship, and your person does not need all that affection, but what their love language is that word of affirmation, building them up through your words, supporting them, encouraging them, right? So you can be given, right, touchy-feely, because that's just how you communicate. That's your love language. And they may not necessarily vibrate at all of that or feel like they're being loved, because you're not, although you're touching and you're hugging on them, you're not encouraging them with words of affirmation. Okay? And vice versa. Although their words of affirmation is what's filling their love tank, right? And your physical touch, you can, they can fill you up with all of these affirmative words, tell you, babe, you're the best, you're the bomb, you're sexy. But if they're not loving on you and being affectionate and touchy-feely and all over that, your love tank is not going to feel like it's being filled. So let's just recap, because I am going to include this in your individuals this week. I'm going to include this video link in your video this week. There are 5 love languages: words of affirmation, quality time, gifts, acts of service, as well as physical touch / affection. Okay, it is important for you to know exactly what your love language is, and you can definitely just get quiet enough to see, do you like to be encouraged and motivated through words? Do you like to spend time? What's more important, when your partner is encouraging you and motivating you with their words, or when your partner wants to spend more time with you? Okay, or is it when your partner does nice things for you through gifts, right? Or is it when your partner is doing acts of service, right? Or is it physical touch and affection? So as you get quiet within yourself to know exactly which love language resonates with you, which one of these resonates with you, which one of these do you need to feel loved and secure in your relationship? That's the start, okay? And then once you get that start, you can then start to see the patterns within your partner to see what love language they vibrate on. And then maybe you guys can have a conversation about that. And then if that's not the case, sometimes, based on what your needs are and what your requirements are for you to be able to feel whole first within yourself, you may see that there may be some adjustments that needs to be made in your relationship. Because honestly, you cannot force someone to give what they don't have to give. So if someone is just not an affectionate person and that is what you require, right? It's physical touch and affection. And that is what you require to fill your love tank. And they are not open-minded, or they're not in a place where they want to work to give that and fill your love tank, there is going to be a problem. Okay. So remember, we talked about, as we are shifting in all of this energy, my loves, right? It is important to know that opposites are not going to attract anymore. It's just not, right? You will need to be in relationships and partnerships that's vibrating on your frequency if you want to attain whole, healthy, and happy relationships, right? There's nothing wrong with people being who they are. All right. There's nothing wrong with people doing what they do. The only thing that needs to, I want to say, happen in your life is you realizing what your needs, what your requirements, what your wants, what your desires are, being honest with yourself about that, and then being bold enough to take those actions and make those changes within you first. Okay. Now, I hope this video was helpful. This is just a breakdown of one of the ways, right, that you can help to bring clear communication within your relationship, is to learn in what love language you operate in and what love language your partner operates in. Come to the table and talk about that. Talk about what you need to feel more love. Talk about what you need to feel more secure within the relationship, right? Now, what you don't want to do, however, is emotionally dump. This is all about you being able to be true to yourself, to master self, right? To change self from within, and then allowing everything else externally to change. So keep an open mind. You can't change anyone. You can only change you. So if your partner is not willing to do this work, then your partner is not willing to do the work. Okay. You can't force people to do that. Okay. All right, my love. So what is your love language? Is your love language words of affirmation? Is your love language quality time? Is your love language gifts? Is your love language act of service? Or is your love language physical touch, aka affection? Right? Take a opportunity to get to know exactly what you're vibrating in and how your love tank, aka love bank, needs to be filled. Okay. All right, guys. Y'all know I love comments, so drop your comments. I'm about to go in and do your reading pertaining to the love language. And also, we will be doing in your individual readings, we're going to be talking about love languages, but we're also going to be talking about sexual / creative energy. Okay, my loves? I will see you guys in your individuals. Okay, bye, my loves.